What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an injury update for the Chicago Bulls ahead of their game against the Philadelphia 76ers. Some positive news, a couple of guys that were out for a long period of time training with the Chicago Bulls team, and also some negatives. Some guys could potentially miss this game. So we're going to be talking all about that in this video. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bull Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls upcoming game against the Philadelphia 76ers. How well do you think the Chicago Bulls would do, and what are your thoughts on how to beat a Philadelphia 76ers side? First things first, let's talk about the Philadelphia side of things. Obviously, if you watched that last game Philadelphia had against the Miami Heat, James Harden did not play in that game against the Heat, which obviously led to a very bad performance out of the Philadelphia 76ers as they lost 99-82, I believe, to the Miami Heat. Now, all things considered, James Harden looks like he's ready to go to play against the Chicago Bulls, as he was not mentioned a part of that injury list. So he should be ready to play against the Chicago Bulls. Obviously, that's great for Philadelphia and for the fans of Philadelphia. Might not be the best for the Chicago Bulls, but nevertheless, whether he does play or he doesn't play, we have an opportunity here, and the Bulls need to continue to pursue to see if they can beat a very strong Philly team. As I said countless times, it's not going to be an easy task, especially with that dynamic duo forming with Joel Embiid and James Harden, as well as the shooters they have around their team at the moment. But also, you got to consider that the Chicago Bulls should be very much desperate and should be doing everything that they can to try and win this game. And I feel like that competitive edge will be there, knowing that we're on a 4-game losing streak. So let's see what the Bulls could do with or without James Harden in the squad for Philadelphia, but it looks like things are a go for him. But there are Bulls injury news, ladies and gentlemen, that could affect this game against the Philadelphia 76ers. I guess it just depends on what side of the coin you sit on when it comes to this person. But Nikola Vucevic has been listed as questionable to play against the Philadelphia 76ers. This obviously means 50-50 chance in terms of NBA terms of what Vucevic is likely to play, to 50% chance that he could play or he could miss this game against Philadelphia. Now, he's not had his strongest games against Philadelphia, let's say, with Nikola Vucevic. Obviously, Joel Embiid is an MVP caliber center, and Nikola Vucevic is not an MVP caliber center, so he does have his struggles against a guy like Joel Embiid. But also, there are some things that he does bring to the table that does help, such as rebounding. That's the big one to take away. The rebounding will take a massive hit, most likely, with Vucevic out of the lineup. But things like pick and roll defense could potentially improve with Vucevic out of the lineup, and just defense in general could definitely improve. We're going to have to wait and see, but let's just hope everybody's fully healthy. I don't want to see any more injuries on the Chicago Bulls team, no matter who the injury is for. So let's hope Vucevic gets back sooner than later. If he does miss this Philadelphia game, let's hope he'll be ready to go against the Detroit Pistons, and let's just see how the Chicago Bulls could go when it comes to injuries. Now, let's look at the weekend that the Chicago Bulls just had, ladies and gentlemen. They've done a lot of work, but most importantly, we've seen some familiar faces that we haven't seen for quite some time in those training facilities. And I guess those three players are the guys that we haven't seen for quite some time on the court either. Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, and Patrick Williams were all seen for the Chicago Bulls training with the guys, and just, I guess, getting steps closer to their return. There are a couple of things to take out of this. First things first, it looks like all three of these guys were participating in non-contact drills, so there was no physical contact, because again, I think that's the last step towards returning, and it looks like none of these guys have been able to participate with contact as of yet. I also believe Alex Caruso has to see his doctor one last time before he's approved to go and play with contact around the Chicago Bulls team, and then obviously the next step is to verse other teams in the NBA as well. So hopefully everything goes well in that regard. Seeing the doctor should be a good sign for Alex Caruso, as showing that he is getting he's getting steps closer to his return, and potentially the return for the Chicago Bulls that we all really need is a guy like Alex Caruso. So that's obviously a piece of news to take out of it. It could be a positive, or maybe the news from the doctor could come back negative and they don't see him as ready to participate in physical drills. We'll have to wait and see with Alex Caruso. In terms of Patrick Williams and Lonzo Ball, I don't think they need approval, but of course they're going going to have regular checkups with the doctors and obviously the training staff, and we'll see what happens from there. But it's good to see them all back wearing Chicago Bulls training gear, all back with the other guys around the team and just getting back to the basics. I think Patrick Williams and Caruso has been here pretty much the whole time, but Lonzo Ball has not been. So it's good to see him back with the Chicago Bulls team as well. There's also news that they could potentially be traveling with the traveling to Philadelphia ahead of this game. Obviously, they're not going to be playing. I don't think any of them are ready to play, but they could be rejoining the team very soon, or they could potentially stay in Chicago, keep on working at the Advocate Center, keep on getting better. Maybe better work could be done while they're training as the Bulls continue to play these away games, and then we'll have to wait and see if they'll be back by next week, hopefully, or maybe even a little bit longer than that, and that's when they can rejoin the team. But this is all the news for the Chicago Bulls, ladies and gentlemen. Just to give you a quick summary of what's been happening. Obviously, James Harden should be ready to go against the Chicago Bulls. Nikola Vucevic is questionable to play against the Philadelphia 76ers. Lonzo, Alex Caruso, and Patrick Williams all participated in non-contact drills. Alex Caruso has to potentially see a doctor one final time to get approved for contact training. And the last piece of news is that they all could potentially rejoin the team in Philadelphia. None of them will be playing, but they'll be with the team on the bench, supporting the team as a first view perspective. They'll be there to support the team. Or they could potentially remain in the Advocate Center, keep on working from there. Better work could be done while everybody else is playing, and they could rejoin the team within their next home game, which is, I believe, is against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Or they could travel to Detroit, which I don't think is too far from Chicago. So we'll wait and see how things will go in that area. But thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.